Are you looking for Pokemon games you can play for free on your phone? Not clones, not fan-made projects, but real, official Pokemon games from the Pokémon Company? Then you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to introduce 10 official Pokemon games and apps that are currently available on mobile devices and can be started completely free of charge. One thing I want to emphasize right from the beginning is that every title on this list comes directly from the Pokémon Company and its official partners. These are not Pokemon-inspired games, knockoffs, or unofficial projects. They are genuine Pokemon products carrying the Pokemon name. And you might be surprised by how many of these games and apps you've never even heard of before. At number 10 is Pokémon Smile. I'm putting this one at the bottom of the list not because it's bad, but because it's probably the most unusual Pokemon app ever made, and I wanted to start with something memorable. Pokémon Smile is a toothbrushing app. Yes, you heard that correctly, a toothbrushing app. You place your phone in front of you, open the camera, and brush your teeth as normal while Pokemon on the screen wait to be rescued. If you brush for the recommended amount of time and do a good job, you'll be able to catch Pokemon as rewards. The app has no in-app purchases, meaning it's completely free with no hidden monetization tricks. It was designed primarily for young children to help build healthy daily brushing habits. It sounds a little ridiculous at first, but the concept is actually very clever, and it's executed surprisingly well. If you have young kids at home, this is absolutely worth checking out. At number 9 is Pokemon Sleep. This is the next step in the Pokémon Company's Pokemon lifestyle trend, and it's arguably even stranger than Pokémon Smile because you play it by sleeping. The concept is very simple. Before going to bed, you place your phone next to your pillow, and the app tracks and records your sleep. The next morning, you'll see the results represented by different Pokemon sleeping around Snorlax. Different sleep patterns attract different Pokemon, giving you a reason to build a consistent sleep routine and discover new species over time. The game is free to play and does include in-app purchases, but the free experience is more than enough to enjoy what the app has to offer. I genuinely like the idea of turning an everyday habit into a gameplay system. It's creative, unique, and completely different from anything else on today's list. At number 8 is Pokémon Magikarp Jump. This is a game that I'd bet many of you have never even heard of unless you're a hardcore Pokémon fan, and that's exactly why I like it. The entire game revolves around a single Pokémon, Magikarp, the most famously weak fish Pokémon in the franchise. Your goal is to raise generations of Magikarp by feeding them, training them, and increasing their jump power. You then compete in jumping tournaments against other Magikarp to see whose can leap the highest. When a Magikarp reaches its limit or loses its competitive edge, it retires, and you begin again with a new generation that inherits part of the previous generation's progress. It's a very unusual concept, but the gameplay has more depth than you might expect. And despite being one of the franchise's lesser-known free-to-play titles, it's surprisingly fun and well worth experiencing at least once. At number 7 is Pokémon Quest. This game has an art style unlike anything else in the Pokémon franchise. Every Pokémon is rendered as a blocky voxel-style character, and the adventure takes place on an island known as Tumblecube Island. You build and customize your base camp, cook different recipes to attract new Pokemon to your team, and then send that team out on expeditions to battle wild Pokemon and explore the island. Combat is largely automated, with players guiding their team through touch controls while managing party composition, abilities, and movesets. The game is free to play and does include in-app purchases, but it's perfectly enjoyable without spending money. You'll simply progress a bit more slowly. If you're looking for a Pokemon game with a relaxed RPG feel and a unique visual style, Pokémon Quest is a surprisingly good choice. At number 6 is Pokémon Café Remix. This is a casual puzzle game where you take on the role of the owner of a Pokémon Café. The core gameplay revolves around connecting and swirling Pokémon icons on the screen to create chains, which helps you complete food and drink orders for the Pokémon customers visiting your cafe. The longer the chains you create, the higher your score and the faster you can complete each order. The game is free to start and is available on Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android. It features bright, colorful visuals and an incredibly charming presentation, making it perfect for short gaming sessions when you just want to relax. There are no heavy combat systems or demanding progression mechanics, and that's exactly what I like about it. Sometimes you just want to open a game and unwind rather than spend hours grinding. At number 5 is Pokémon TCG Live. This is the game for fans of the Pokémon trading card game, the real Pokémon card game brought into a digital format. What makes TCG Live special is that it's designed to help you learn Pokémon TCG at your own pace, completely free of charge. New players are given starter decks to begin with, and the game includes a learning lab that teaches the rules step by step. Once you're comfortable, you can take your decks online and battle against other players from around the world. The game is available on iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows, giving it excellent cross-platform support. If you're interested in Pokémon cards but don't know how to play, or if you want to learn before investing money into physical cards, then Pokémon TCG Live is the perfect starting point, and it won't cost you anything to get started. At number 4 is Pokémon Masters EX. This is a strategic battle game on mobile. But what makes it different from most other Pokémon games is that you're not just collecting Pokémon, you're also collecting trainers. The core mechanic revolves around the sync pair system, where each trainer is permanently partnered with a specific Pokémon. For example, you might have Misty paired with Starmie, Brock paired with Onix, or Cynthia paired with Garchomp. Battles take place in real-time 3 versus 3 encounters, where you manage your entire team simultaneously and activate moves based on timing and strategy. The game is free to start and uses a gacha system to obtain additional sync pairs. If you're a fan of the trainers from the anime, manga, and mainline Pokémon games, then Pokémon Masters EX is incredibly satisfying because it brings together a huge roster of beloved characters from across multiple generations of Pokémon history. At number 3 is Pokémon UNITE. This is Pokémon's take on the MOBA genre, and if you haven't tried it yet, now is the perfect time. Pokémon UNITE is free to start, available on both Nintendo Switch and mobile devices, and most importantly, it supports cross-platform battles. That means mobile players can seamlessly compete alongside and against players on Switch. The basic format features 2 teams of 5 players battling on a symmetrical map. During each match, you level up your Pokémon, evolve into stronger forms, and score points by depositing collected energy into the opposing team's goal zones. Unlike many casual battle games, UNITE offers genuine strategic depth. Success depends on team coordination, proper timing, objective control, and strong map awareness. The combat is fast, colorful, and highly energetic, making it just as entertaining to watch as it is to play. At number 2 is Pokémon trading card game Pocket, better known as TCG Pocket. This is one of the hottest Pokémon games available right now, and it absolutely deserves its spot near the top of the list. TCG Pocket simplifies many of the rules from the traditional Pokémon trading card game to make the experience more accessible on mobile devices. Its standout feature is incredibly simple. Every day, you're given 2 booster packs completely free of charge with no special requirements attached. These aren't demo packs or limited trial packs. They're real booster packs containing real cards that become part of your collection. If you don't want to spend money, you can simply log in each day, open your 2 packs, and steadily build your collection over time. Beyond collecting, the game also includes battle modes with streamlined deck building and simplified mechanics, making it much easier for new players to learn compared to the full Pokémon TCG experience. New expansions are released regularly, and their trailers consistently attract tens of millions of views, showing just how much excitement and interest the game has generated within the Pokémon community. And at number 1, it could only be Pokémon GO. This is the biggest and most widely recognized Pokémon mobile game ever made, not just within gaming circles, but in popular culture as a whole. The official Pokémon GO trailer has accumulated nearly 50 million views, and that number speaks for itself. The core concept of Pokémon GO is simple but revolutionary. It turns the real world into the game world. You physically go outside to explore, find and catch Pokémon, like visit Pokéstops to collect items, participate in gym battles, and join raid battles with other nearby players. The game is free to play, available on both iPhone and Android devices, and perhaps most impressively, it continues to receive active updates even after all these years. No other title on today's list can truly compete with Pokémon GO when it comes to mainstream recognition, cultural impact, and overall popularity. To quickly sum it up, if you enjoy exploring the real world, Pokémon GO is the easy #1 choice. If you like card collecting and battles, go with TCG Pocket or TCG Live. If competitive team battles are your thing, try Pokémon UNITE. If you're a fan of trainers and gacha systems, Masters EX is the way to go. For a more relaxed experience, Café Remix and Quest are great options. And if you want something truly unique, Magikarp Jump, Sleep, and Smile offer some of the most creative ideas in the entire franchise. Those are my top 10 official free-to-play Pokemon games on mobile. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below.